So we've just got down to the river, just down on Knockamai Station, just through a little flat area here, and just pulled up. With fishing late in the season, it's a little bit different. You don't have to jump up at the crack of dawn. You get here, you wait for a little bit of sun on the water so you can spot the fish, but also a bit of heat. Cloud cover's also good for these duns to start popping as well. And that's ideal. And we've got down here, and there's about 4 fish rising straight away, which is ideal. Oh, here he is up the front. Righto. Finally, there we go. We've missed a few. Oh, he's a good fish. Good fish. So we've got a little bit of timber. So that's what we're mindful of. We want to keep him out of that timber, because he'll do you straight away there. So if we can keep that angle on the rod this way, that'll drag him out a little bit. Well, my heart was going there. He's a good fish, and I could just see him just under that surface, and I knew if I get this little dun pattern in front of him, he'll take it. And he's just taking a bit of line. I prefer even to be below the fish, but he's got a bit of a run up so far. I want to get the fish out of that main current, because they'll use all that to their advantage, and they'll really fight above their weight. This one's a resident. Who knows, he might have been living under that log for the last 5 years. And they are territorial. So we'll put this one back, and you get a chance to come across on one of our trips. We might even take you to that log as well. He's still got a bit of go in him. That's right, I prefer getting below the fish, and then he's fighting up against the current. And he's taken a while to get. So we've got all day to get him in the net. Still got a bit of go. And that's the time, you just got to let them go. If they've got that enough power to pull off line like that, you just got to give it to them. But this is why you do it. When it's been a little bit hard, you've missed a couple, you've got to change flies a few times to try and make something work. And you see a beautiful fish like this. I mean, the Mataura's it doesn't get massive fish in it like some of the other bigger rivers do, but ooh, beautiful. To get something like that one in there, he'll easily be 4.5 pound. He's a male, you'll see with this hook jaw. Much like most Australians get a beer belly, trout get a hook jaw for the males. And one of the blokes we had on one of our trips recently described the trout here. They look like leopards. They're just camouflage, they're just incredible. But just a beautiful fish, great colours, and you can see he's not that silver, and he's good to go now. And he'll swim off there, be happy as Larry. So magnificent. A lake called Mavora Lakes. There's 2 of them. This is the southern lake, and they're joined by a little stream that flows through to the northern lake. Massive expanse of water and full of browns and rainbows. Lakes, I think, particularly in the South Island, are underutilised because they tend to fish the rivers mainly. But these are fantastic fisheries in their own right. Here's one coming over. Oh, has he got it? Yes, and he has. That's great. I mean, that's what we're looking for. We're walking along here. It's very similar to like bone fishing, and you'll see things that might be black or dark or brown or just something a little bit unnatural, and you've got to treat them all like as if they're a fish. And that one, it just looked different. And yeah, you throw it over, there's a lot of false alarms. You'll throw it over and it's not a fish or whatever, but when it is one and you see move, that's when it gets pretty exciting. When he actually takes the fly, that's even more exciting. Why wouldn't you come and fish these lakes? That was on the dry as well. They've just got to be opportunistic feeders. They'll just cruise around all these places, and whatever's there. If it's a blowfly on the top, or a beetle, or a nymph, they've got to grab hold of it. Get his head up, and bang, in the net. Good, just on 4 pound. Just magnificent. In great nick. That's a great lake trout from Mavora Lakes. And he's good to go. Shove off. One just rising just out here. I can't see, just in all that glare. You can see the rise. And he liked it, so that's good. She's been pretty hard going this morning. And we've just been hoping for some duns to pop up. It's been very hard to see without much sun. So when they start rising, that's terrific just to give it away like that. I quite like a nice short line when you're fighting these fish. Beautiful. So that's good. That's a terrific and a typical upper Mataura River brown. Beautiful spots. Great fish, great big gob in there. They've got some teeth too, and that hook jaw, so he's got a few years on him. Terrific little fish. Just to show you what the fish is going to be seeing. So we've just spotted one up here. He's probably only a foot or so from the bank. So we need to obviously get up like a nice cast from a bit of an angle in there, not too far ahead, because you don't want your fly line going over the top. Just a leader, and with a bit of luck he'll take it. And he does. So that's worked out pretty well. Oh, and we've got him in there. Again, it was tail first, but I just didn't want him to get in that fast water. And he's a good solid fish. For the Mataura, he's an absolute cracker. This is why you do it, to come across this, a fish like this. Actually, he's close to 7.5. That is an absolute thumper. This is why you come to New Zealand, to come across fish like that in a river like this. This is a dead set trophy in the Mataura River. I don't know how big your TV screen is, but through these eyes, he's massive. He's massive. Just the depth, it's probably hard to see in the coloration of these. This is a trophy fish out of the Mataura. Easily the biggest fish I've got in the Mataura. And this is just absolutely magnificent. So we've got to make sure it's good to bring him out and get a photo, do all that sort of stuff, but keep him back in the water. You want to catch him and catch him and catch him. You don't want to bang him on the head and show him off and eat him. You know, if you want that, you can order fish and chips from, the pub or something. Catch this fish, put him back, because the enjoyment this bloke's given me is amazing, and I want you to enjoy it as well. So when you get a big fish, don't show it off, put him back in, and let somebody else catch him as well. That is a magnificent fish. And that's what it's all about. Catching a fish like that is just awesome. And I think that's a good way to finish a day, on a fish like that. And I love the Mataura, I think, because there's so many opportunities. You can walk up and see a 4-pounder and muck up your cast or miss the strike or whatever, and normally you'd be devastated, but on Mataura there's so many fish that you take another 10 steps and there's another 4-pounder or a 5-pounder or a 3-pounder, so you get a lot of opportunities, particularly I suppose your first trip to New Zealand, so you can really get a good feel for it and get a good opportunity, to be successful. And that's not saying they're easy. You could fish all day here and not get a fish. Other days, they can really be active and taking your fly. So it's just a lot of opportunities here. And then as your ability gets better, there's other areas to go to. I mean, we've got the Ariti, which is like quite a big fish river. You won't see as many, but they're going to be big, from 7 upwards. And there's plenty of other rivers like that. You've got to find them. There's also smaller ones around, like Hamilton Burn, which is great for a fall weight and things like that. And some really little dry fly feeders and things like that. So there's plenty of opportunities, and even if it does rain and the rivers get washed out, we've got Mavora Lakes or the lakes just up near Queenstown, and there's just loads of opportunities. So yeah, I'm not sure whether this is my favourite, but it's certainly up there with all of them.